It's trying to connect. Here we go. Hello. It's Deb from Wisdom Arts and not Frank Walker from National Tiles. Anyway, I normally go live on Insight Timer on Sunday mornings, but I did not go live this morning. So I thought I would go live here on Substack because I've only done one live here before, and it is something I want to start doing more of. So I thought because I didn't go live on Insight Timer, I will go live here instead. Not that anyone's probably going to show up. Whereas, anyway, that's okay. I'm doing it for myself, and you can always watch the recordings. But normally when I do go live on Insight Timer, it is a reading for the collective for the week ahead. So sometimes that involves one card, several cards. Last week we had trust, my symbol for trust, and we had emotional withdrawal, and we also had courage. So that's what came through for last week. I will put these cards back. I do like to typically always start with a symbol from my own oracle deck, and then I go with the flow and pull from other decks. So I usually also start with a quick little grounding meditation, although I'm very grounded because I've just been at the beach. So I felt pretty grounded. I don't know if I need to do that today. I might just set my ground rules that only beings of light shall talk to me, through me, and be in my energetic field, and that this reading is for the greatest and highest good of the collective as a whole, and for all of those that either join the call today or watch the replay. That's the collective as a whole. All right. So we'll just see what we need to know for the week ahead. This is my symbol for faith. It's a bit like a sailing ship, right? So these circles and this point here represent the main 7 chakras, and this is kind of like the standing point of the ship, yeah? And it's kind of like an anchor on the bow of the ship here. So it's kind of like an anchor. Also, if you turn it on its side, it looks a bit like an arrow. So be in alignment and allow your ship to sail. Sometimes we are holding on to the steering ship a little bit too firm. Sometimes we need to let go. Other times, perhaps we need to take a little bit more control as well. So being in alignment, having trust and faith in yourself, in source, and allowing things to flow as well. Yeah. So that's faith. Faith that it is all working out perfectly in divine timing, in divine order. All right. I might pull a card from the Liquid Crystal Oracle. Liquid Crystal Oracle. Or the collective as well. Not flipping for me today. Not getting a real clear signal on left or right. Pile. Drawn to the right. Free will. Labradorite. Labradorite. Labradorite? I don't know how to say that. Let me see what it says about this. Your healing journey today. Labradorite. Is that how you say it? Signals the empowerment of free will, an exciting time of change and creation. But before she can do her work, the mind must be refined and brought into unity. Labradorite is letting us know it's action time. So refine your focus, meditate, and be sure you feel what your heart and soul need to. So be sure you feel what your heart and soul need to move forward toward life purpose. Sure, if that doesn't make sense. Doesn't sound like proper English, but you know what it means, right? So refine your focus, meditate, and be sure you feel what your heart and soul need to move forward, to move toward life purpose. Prepare to create with love, free from fear and under the guidance of spirit for the betterment of all. Labradorite also tells us that it is time to spiritualize our surroundings and understand the purpose behind all that is in our life. All creation holds purpose. Be ready to know what it is. In your new embrace, there are no secrets, only truth. The affirmation is, as heart and mind unite, I am, we are, all is. As heart and mind unite, I am, we are, all is. I also will read the prayer. It's like a little prayer kind of at the beginning. So I'm reading out of the Liquid Crystal Oracle deck. If you just join me, first card I pulled for the collective is this one here, which is my symbol for faith. Hi, Anisha. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I don't go live here. Don't typically go live on Substack. I normally go live on Insight Timer, but I didn't do my usual live this morning, so I thought I will make up for it here. Not that anybody know that I'm here. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. All right, so I'm going to just read the message from Master Crystal Diva Tistoel. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing these names properly. Enter my light, accept my truths and blessings, for in the darkness of my physical form, I hide the endless lights of the universe. I am an infinite resource of all that was, is, and can be. Let us reopen the doors of understanding so you may again see that the power of change rests in your hands. All that powerful words. The power of change rests in your hands. Go forth, light the torch of free will and create. Raise your hands to Ra's bright and burning body and call it forth in a single ray that I can filter into the crown. Oh my gosh. Into the crown. That's the crown at the top of faith is the crown. Oh, so perfect. Feel me run through you and remove outer influence, refining your focus on the ultimate goal of self. Walk with me now through the fire of purification to the great halls of times past and arise with the true purpose of your spirit firm in hand. Extraterrestrial and earthly soulless spirits, hear my call. Through me, join as one in the movement toward the goal of the Supreme Creator's breath and fulfill the unified purpose. rebirth the ancient Atlantean way of oneness and unite the star tribes so they may again shine as a single star, this time in mastered physicality. Whoa, that's pretty huge. So a key thing there that stood out is obviously unity, yeah. And I am an infinite resource of all that was, is, and can be, right? Remembering the truth that we are unlimited. We are eternal souls, right? We're not just this physical form. We're actually a soul in a physical form. So I guess it's tapping into that and remembering the unity of all that we are in spirit. Yeah. So that's the cards that I've pulled for the collective today. Not sure if we need another one. I think they're both pretty powerful cards. Faith and a Labradorite. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm sorry, I'm not a crystal expert. But it stands for free will. Free will. We always have free will. We always have a choice. So what are we choosing in each and every moment? A lot of the time we forget the power of the present moment, right? We're thinking about the past that influences our now instead of being fully present in the now moment. So living our lives based on the now and what we're wanting to create. Yeah. So I guess it's a reminder to focus on what you are creating, not about what you haven't achieved or what happened in the past, but focusing on what you are creating, focusing on the present moment, on the here and now, and trust and faith that you are in alignment and it will all work out. Yeah. But we have to let go of the past and we have to make the most of the present moment as well. Yeah. So, it's pretty awesome, that card. Just wondering if there's anything else that's standing out to share, but I don't think so in regards to that particular card. Anisha, do you think we need another one? I don't know. Normally I probably pull about 3, but I tend to go with the flow. And sometimes when I pull a card, then there'll be a word that stands out, and then that might be in resonance with one of my symbols or something like that. So there's no rules with how many cards I typically pull. I just kind of go with the flow and yeah. Let me know. Do you think we need another one? Otherwise, I'm happy to pull an individual card for you, seeing you are here live with me today. So let me know. And I like to put the cards up here on my little holder now to remind me of what came through for the collectives for the week. So yeah, I'm not feeling we need any more for the collective. I think those 2 cards are powerful enough. I don't think we need to add to that. So yeah, I can do a card pull for you if you like. From a deck I haven't pulled from yet. So let's see. You can choose which one. I have these 2 here you can choose from. The Sacred Light Oracle or the John Holland Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. Which one would you like? Let me know. Psychic Tarot, yeah. I was leaning towards that one too. I do love the John Holland decks. I've got this one and another one of his, and both of them were gifted to me, actually. Both of my John Holland decks were gifted to me by two different friends. I like his decks because I find the imagery on his cards very easy to read. I'm not really an oracle reader, more an energy reader, but these cards, I do find very powerful. Interesting. That flipped for you. So they weren't flipping for me, Anisha, but they were flipping for you. So patience and planning. Patience and planning. Look at these two pillars here. So setting up the structure, the pillars to support you in whatever it is that you are creating. Yeah. So have the patience. It is unfolding in divine timing and divine order, but perhaps planning is also required. I must say planning is not my strong point. I'm very much probably a bit too much in the feminine and go with the flow a little bit too much and not a lot of planning. And sometimes I do plan and then I get disappointed. But what about you, Anisha? Are you much of a planner? Perhaps if not, perhaps this is giving you some insights to perhaps look at the bigger picture on what it is that you are creating. Perhaps it is a matter of breaking things down and getting that masculine side on of planning so that things can come to fruition. Yeah. Procrastinating with planning. Me too. Although I don't know, sometimes we kind of need a bit of a break from all that. Personally, I've pulled back a lot, and that means everything's just gone a bit flat. But sometimes we need a break. But perhaps if you had a bit of a pause or you're procrastinating, this is perhaps a little push to say perhaps it's time. We have obviously just come out of the festive season, and a lot of people take a bit of a break around that time, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. So perhaps if you're on the other side of that, if you did have a bit of a break, perhaps it's now time to reignite and look at planning things ahead to help give you that pillars of support is what I see here. 2 pillars of support, yeah? But I will also read out the card and see what it says. Okay, 85. I think I need to hear this too. Are you sure this is for you, this card? It feels like it's very much for me as well. All right, so this is what it says. Good things come to those who wait. This card signifies the qualities of patience and letting go of control. Oh, yes, surrender is a huge one for me. You should now pause, rest, assess. I've been doing very much that. Have you been doing a bit of that? You should now pause, rest, and assess and rethink what's in front of you before continuing. The number 7 physical card reminds you to reevaluate the goals that you're seeking, your finances, and even your relationships. Take the time to review each area one by one, for there's no rush when you're planning for a successful future. As you pause, which I very much have been pausing, is this card for you, Anisha, and for me, or both of us, for the collective perhaps as well. As you pause during this period, notice what has worked well for you in the past, not what you or others believe to be true, but in actual positive experiences. Actual positive experiences. While you're at this reflecting stage, you can stand back and plan how you're going to handle potentially difficult, complex decisions and situations that may arise in the future. Interesting. So it's interesting because I've been very much in the pause, what kind of waiting for the spark to reignite. Also, I guess to gain clarity. Also, because it feels like there's some pieces of the puzzle that haven't fully dropped in yet. Yeah. So sometimes we need to take a back seat. We need to pause We need to gain that clarity in order to be able to plan, right? But what I like here is that it sort of says to also reflect on what has worked well for you in the past, right? Not what you or others believe to be true, but in actual positive experiences, right? So those positive experiences, what did they look like? What worked well? What were the highlights about those experiences? Was it because you were collaborating with others? Was it because of where you were in your own mental, emotional state? Reflect on the things, not just, this time of year, a lot of people kind of reflect on the past year, the highs and lows. But this is kind of like maybe a reflective overall bigger picture on what has worked for you. Why were they positive experiences? Yeah. In order to plan and move forward. So I hope that resonates. Definitely time for reflection. And sometimes those reflections are not just in regards to successes, but perhaps they're also as simple as reflecting on how you have evolved in your own journey as well. So, perhaps it's the fact that you do have more patience. You've noticed you do have more patience in certain circumstances where perhaps you didn't in the past. So take the time to pause and reflect in order to gain that clarity, focus on the highlights and what worked well, and plan for the coming year based on looking at the past as a guideline, but not necessarily as a carbon copy of what you're going to bring forward. But what worked well? Why did it work well? Was it the people that were helping and support me along the way? Was it to do with, the environment or your mental state, or what was flowing? Why was it flowing well at that time for that project or that time in your life versus why wasn't it flowing in this time of your life? Yeah. I don't know. Does that make sense? Let me know. You said, thank you for that reading. I am looking forward to watch the replay and sit with the message again. Yes. The good thing, you can watch the replay. The good thing about Substack, it keeps it. Does it? Does it keep the lives? I think it does. Because I just know with Insight Timer, where I normally show up, only I can watch the replay. And I did create an event on there, and I had real technical difficulties, which was first time in ages. Well, actually, probably the first time I had really bad technical difficulties. But the beautiful thing about this here is, yes, with Substack, people can watch the replay, I think. Yeah, so that is awesome. Oh, I think I'm going to leave that card out, Anisha. I think I need that card as well. I'm going to leave that one and add it to the collective over here. So these were the cards that we had. These two clearly for the collective was Faith and Labradorite. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that properly, which is about free will. Yes. And then this one for Anisha, but it feels in resonance with me. So I'm sharing that as well, that perhaps this is also for the collective about patience and planning. But it also kind of says to reflect, yeah? So reflect on all that you have done, what has worked well, creating those pillars of support for yourself, yeah? So perhaps those pillars are not just supporting yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, but also perhaps external support may be required as well. Anisha says, I'm so happy it was helpful for us both and maybe for others. Yes, who will be watching. Thank you very much. Yes. So thank you for joining me live. Just putting the cards back as a reminder of what came through for this week. And yes, thank you for joining me or watching the replay here on Substack. Feel free to leave a comment if you do watch the replay, and the cards are in resonance. It's always nice to get feedback. So you can find out more about me through wisdomarts.com.au. I also have an insight game that I really need to get out there more. It is a spiritual board game. I haven't set dates yet, but I need to sit and plan for that. Talking about planning, I actually got the calendar out and I need to sit with that and plan my dates for some upcoming events. The game is played online, mostly online. So have a fabulous day. I appreciate you being here, Nisha. Thank you again. And goodbye to you and anyone else that watches the replay. And thanks for being here. Bye for now.